and med annotations, and how you could come up with your own my service annotation. And I mentioned, so that was a 3x timeline, right? And in 4.0, we've actually gone a step farther. I'm not actually sure who came up with the idea, but it's a really cool idea. So, like I said, there's no support in the language, in the Java language, for inheritance. So if there's no support for inheritance, and there's no support for overriding methods and stuff like that. But we came up with a convention-based way. If you define in your custom annotation an attribute of the same name and the same type, then we assume that you're overriding a method, basically, in an annotation. So we call that attribute overrides. Might be special to Spring. Maybe some other projects do that as well. We're starting to do it rather often, and Spring Boot does it. Some of the other projects do it. Spring Integration, I think, and some of the, maybe, not yet, some of those. Definitely Spring Boot. So like I said, this is convention-based, matched by the name and the type. But one caveat here is that you're not allowed to override the value attribute, simply because value is a special keyword, in a sense, for attributes in Java. So here we have an example. We have defined our own @session-scoped annotation. We've annotated that with standard Java retention, saying this needs to be kept around at runtime. And we've annotated that with Spring's @scope annotation, hard-coding the scope to session. So this actually makes sense. It's a session-scoped annotation. Anytime we use that, the bean annotated with that would be a session-scoped bean. But we're going a step farther than what we had before. Now we're actually defining our own attributes within this custom annotation. So here we have scoped proxy mode default, and we're setting that to no. Now, I'm not going to show you the source code right now, but if you open up scope and look at the source code for this, you'll see it defines this exact same attribute. It's of type scoped proxy mode. It's named exactly proxy mode, and it has